Okay, let's give this a try. This is the first time I'm streaming on YouTube, so I don't know how this is going to work out. This could be terrible. This could be a disaster. So, we'll see. Looks like I'm actually live though, so that's good. That's good. I've got the chat here, I've got OBS here, and I've got Hollow Knight here. So, I don't know who else is going to show up. I think I saw that Coffee is online. Mike said he was going to be around later. So, if you haven't played Hollow Knight, just fair warning, this is like very endgame stuff. Like, in fact, this could maybe even be considered post-game stuff. Because technically I have already beaten the game. So this could be considered post. So if you haven't played Hollow Knight and are super invested in the lore and knowing all the story, you know, proceed with caution, I guess. But I will also say that the great thing about Hollow Knight is that there's not actually very much lore, at least not in most of the game. And it's sort of more about occupying this world. This world full of rotating buzzsaws. So these rotating buzzsaws act like spikes, which is to say that when you get hit by them, you just get knocked back to a continue point rather than taking damage. So if one of these touches me, which as you're seeing is happening quite a bit, I have to start the whole section over again. So this part of the game is technically optional. You are looking for a particular... That's great. You're looking for a particular item that is required to face the true final boss of the game. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to do this thing. And so these guys think I'm the king because I have the mark of the king. I'm not actually the king though, but I have the mark of the king. Urbors says, "Hey man, what's up?" Not much, Urbors. What's up with you? I'm playing Hollow Knight. That's what's up with me. This game is super good. I didn't play it until the Switch version came out, but Mike played a lot of it. Actually, Mike did a sort of a speed run that's on the channel here, which you can find in the live stream playlist. Timing on this is just brutal. Boy, this is fun. Yeah. There we go. I did it with 1 health left. Urbors says, "I can't wait until the next same name, different game. I love those videos." Well, thank you. I'm glad you love them, and the next one will be up on Saturday. In fact, if you're a Patreon supporter, it's up right now. If you give $1 per video at patreon.com/same name, different game, you can watch the new episode right now, but it is not available yet for public consumption. I need a bunch of soul, so I can heal with soul. Sort of of assuming, even though this is like super post-game content, I'm assuming that people have played Hollow Knight. I don't know why I'm assuming that, but... okay, well, so at least I'm at a checkpoint. So. Oh, that one does not have a very wide... That saw blade does not move much. Yeah, but Mike and I think Mike and Kurt and Eric all played this and liked it a lot, and I didn't really listen to them. Not that I didn't listen to them, it's just that I didn't want to play it on PC, I guess, since I knew the Switch version was coming, and I actually didn't realize that the Switch version was coming so much later compared to the PC version as it did. So I just started playing this a couple weeks ago, and I'm at the end of it. I've really been just mainlining this stuff, just put it straight in my veins. Because I do love a good metroidvania, which is what this is. Again, talking about this like people don't know what it is, but also started the stream by saying this is like almost post-game content, so spoilers. So I don't know who this stream is for. It's for me. That's who this stream is for. So a lot of this traversal stuff that you're seeing me doing is stuff that I was not able to do, you know, early in the game. You can't wall jump early in the game. You can't double jump. You can't air dash. There's a door that way. So I have a power where I can, like, do a sort of a long, straight flying thing, and I think that might be what I need to do over there, but I don't want to do it and, like, charge headlong into death, so I'm actually going to go over here. Okay. So that, it seems like it's where I'm supposed to go, but now, because I'm curious, I'm going to try this and see. Oh. Okay. You just fall and die. As I somewhat suspected, I guess. That's what happens. So yeah, if you are into Metroidvania style games and have not played Hollow Knight, I would recommend it. This part of this game is not messing around. Yowza. There we go. Come on. I double jumped on that. It's nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you. Now, of course, I have to go, because I ran out of health, I have to go down. To the last save point. Which is weird, because technically this is a dream, I think. You have a dream, it's called the Dream Nail. It's like a dream sword that lets you sort of see into people's dreams, and even if they're dead. And a lot of the dream stuff when you, well, I guess in a lot of the dream stuff when you die, you just get kicked out of the dream, and actually the game isn't kicking me all the way out of the dream, which is probably sending me back to the save point bench is the best thing you can do. I have a lot more health this time to do this next section. It seems like that's a lot of what this is sort of, you know, figuring out the next section, and the next section, and the next section, and sort of getting to the point where you can get through the earlier parts without doing that. Really? Wow. There's a save point. I hope there's a bench on the other side of this. Okay, well, next best thing. There's some dudes I can kill. I can move a spirit from so I can heal myself. Herbors just became a patron. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. So now you don't have to wait for the new same name, different game. You can watch it right now. You should finish watching the stream now first, because, you know, you're going to get all the hot pro tips on how to beat the White Palace and Hollow Knight if you watch the rest of the stream. No, I wanted to dash the other direction. Jesus. Oh, that was okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, game. Oof. Oof. Back to the bench. Oh. Okay. Well, at least I can just sit on the bench and get my back. The nice thing about being in the dream world is that this game has a mechanic where usually when you lose a life, you lose, it's called your shade, so they refer to it in the game, which is like your soul, but it's got all your money. Why all your money stays with your ghost instead of with yourself, I don't know. But it does. Unfortunately, at this point, since it's a dream or whatever, it's not, my shade isn't disappearing, it's not parting ways with my body, so I get to keep all my money. Because if you don't get back to it and you die again, then you just lose all your money. Again, he says, this is assuming that people watching of us haven't played online. Which is a mechanic that some people had a problem with, and I'll be honest, I didn't love it myself when I first started playing, but you kind of get to a point in the game where you realize that, well, so one, once you know the danger, that like if you die, that's what's going to happen, you don't worry about it quite as much, or rather, I should say, you still worry about it, but you sort of approach it with the appropriate amount of caution when you're trying to get to your shade again. But also you get to a point where money just doesn't really matter as much. Like you have enough of it, basically. You have enough money that it's just not something you need to worry about really. So you might notice that things are a little framey in this section, and that's a problem with the Switch version. The performance is... Damn. The performance is not great, and that affects... Here it's not terrible, because I know the jumps I need to make. But in some of the boss fights, especially the hard, sort of high-level ones, things get really hectic and the game starts to lag and get really framey and that has cost me some boss fights, to the point where there are at least a couple of boss fights in this game that I think I may not ever be able to beat, because they lag out so badly. When stuff starts going on, and the strategies that I in particular am using to try to beat those particular boss fights don't help, because they involve a lot of weird... You can get helper characters depending on the kind of stuff you have equipped. And so when I'm fighting bosses, I tend to like to use those. Like I've got a couple of spiders that I can get to follow me around. And Spider Bros just make the game lag out more. No. Someone's here.
Are they?
Hey, it's Mike.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Just to check in on what's happening in the world of Joe right now.
Saw blades. Lots of saw blades.
Yep. The saw blades never stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Any saw blades. I made it past this jump the first time I did it, and now I'm sucking real bad, and I don't know why.
Yeah, don't want to be defeatist, but I'm not seeing anything on the stream. Are you actually streaming?
I'm actually streaming. Are you watching on Twitch, or are you watching on YouTube? Because I'm streaming.
Oh, you're on YouTube now. Oh, hey, welcome to the brave new world. Yeah. Let me see what this looks like on YouTube. Look at that. It's happening live.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're streaming on YouTube. You sure are.
There we go, and I just made that jump. Thanks, Mike.
Anything to help. I'm trying to remember this spot. Yeah, this part I thought was really cool. Like it's
very
pretty
different from everything else in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The there's a couple. I guess there's a couple segments that have a lot of like heavy platforming, but nothing quite like this.
Yeah. Well, there is one thing that's quite like this, actually.
Which part?
It's the secret, extra challenging area to this dungeon.
There's another one of these?
Yeah, but you don't have to do it.
What? Do you just get... What do you get? Another charm or another...
I think you get like a little story scene. I don't remember if you actually get an item. I haven't done that part, actually. I did not know about it when I was here, and I found out about it after I kind of finished the game and like put it down. And since then, you know, like I've done a couple of speedrun attempts, but none of those bring you here.
Right, I was going to ask about that. Is the speedrun attempt just the basic sort of bad ending, for lack of a
It
better
is for
word?
me, yeah. I mean, like, there's obviously, you know, in the world of speedrunning, there is a 100% category for this game. And the time for that is amazingly like 3 hours or something like that. Just bonkers. Like, I probably spent 35 hours on my playthrough that does not have quite everything.
Yeah, I'd have to check my save file, but oh god, this is.
Yeah, pretty tough. You don't have Hive Blood, do you?
I do. I should probably be using that, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't have it when I did this, and it maybe requires a bit more patience, but yeah, it means that you're never going to get stuck going back to a warp point just because you ran out of health.
That's true. How long does Hive Blood take to refill your last health, though? Do you have to wait for it?
Well, like I said, I don't really know, because okay, I played the whole game, and I did not find the Hive. Like, I got the good ending and everything, and I did not find the Hive at all. And so I went back later and I explored the area, and I got that charm, but I didn't have any reason to use it. So I mean, that's not 100% true. I could go and do so the secret area in this part of the world is called the Path of Pain, which, as you can imagine, fun place. And that place you could use the High Blood, but apparently they give you enough energy statues that you don't really need it. So this is actually the best use case for Hive Blood right here, what you're doing right now.
Okay.
So don't skimp.
Well, I don't think I need the Wayward Compass, and nobody's been dropping Geo, so I don't need the Gathering Swarm.
Yeah, you won't be seeing that for a while.
I haven't fought anything, so Steady Body seems like I don't really need that right now.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna fight anything either.
Which I guess means I don't really need the Mark of Pride or the Quick Slash either. Which I guess
No, those are two real good charms.
I can load up on. Let's do Hive Blood, and then maybe I lose the ability to heal if I use Joni's Blessing. But that
you don't want that.
A whole bunch of health. Maybe Life Heart.
I don't think it's worth it.
Hive worked in concert.
What does Lifeblood do? It gives you more hearts.
You get when resting, the bearer will gain a coating of lifeblood that protects from a modest amount of damage.
It would probably just give you like the two blue masks.
Two blue masks, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any experience with the High Blood Heart because I didn't really. I got it so late that. So how many hours of this have you played?
I'd have to check my save file, but I would ballpark it around 30-ish.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right for where you are. You got a lot of stuff. I think you have more charms than I ever got. There's a couple
I'm only
in
missing
there.
3. Because the one that is in this slot is actually being turned into a non-fragile version of that at the circus tent.
Oh, right.
But I haven't bought it back from her yet, so...
So did you get the strength one upgraded?
No, that's the soul one, I think, was the first one I gave her, which I should have done it with the greed one, because it costs a lot to get him back, so greed would have been a good one to start with.
Yeah, fair enough.
Use the shaman stone, because it increases your casting potential, so there you go.
The only one that I upgraded was the damage one, because there wasn't really anything else that I needed at that point. Hey, we've got a couple people in the chat here. Herb Wars just became a patron and said this game reminds him of Super Meat Boy. Certainly it does right now.
Yeah, this part of the game is very Super Meat Boy. The rest of it is really not. Mickey Con? M-Key-Con? Sorry, man. That's just...
Yeah, a couple more vowels in there if you want us to pronounce that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that person says just this part of the game, as I just said. Yeah, so only this part is like Super Meat Boy. The rest of it is... Didn't need to jump there. Yeah, the rest of it is a lot more like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, if I was to make a lazy comparison.
Yeah, like it's like a 35-hour game if you want to do basically everything, and 34 of those hours are not like this, or 33. Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Still for a second, it just brings back the Hive Blood. Just like refills my empty mask. That's annoying.
Well, you've lost a couple that were Lifeblood hearts, right? So they probably won't come back.
I don't think the Lifeblood ones will come back unless I sit on a bench.
But if you were to take a couple hits in a row, I think the high blood would fill you back up to your maximum, except for the lifeblood hearts.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that I want to try that. I think I'd rather just sort of give it the couple seconds to fill back up each time and not have to worry about it.
MK Icon says
dumb about this. I don't know.
MK Icon, who is pronounced NK Icon, says that they've doubled their playtime with Godmaster. Wow, really? You've done like 20 hours of boss rush? Dang.
See, I asked in the Talking Time thread the other day if the Godmaster stuff was worth doing, and that tells me that it's probably not, because I don't think... I like this game a lot. Like, right now, I would say this is my 2017 game of 2018.
For sure.
But
you don't have to play them.
I don't need to play it for 20 more hours, I don't think.
Well, not 20 hours of boss fight. Like, I like the boss fights in this game, but that's just one part of what I enjoy about it. Like, I love the world so much, and again, the platforming is super tight. And they don't make you use it to this extent for the most part. But, like, I didn't go back and do Godmaster. Godmaster came out after I was kind of done with my main run of the game, but I don't see myself spending a lot of time on it. Fighting various Radiant bosses, plus the last couple Pantheons are hard. I'm sure they're hard. There's a lot of hard stuff in this game.
So it looks like only the one that you just most recently hit comes back. It won't heal.
Okay.
If you have two missing, it won't heal two. It'll just heal one.
Right. Well, you know. But, oh yeah, you can use soul, and you will be getting soul from statues.
I can still use soul. It's not like Johnny's Blessing where I lose that ability. So.
I wouldn't start being really conservative about it until you make it kind of farther in, right? Because at this point, if you lose all your hearts and soul, then you don't have to go back very far.
True.
Might as well just throw yourself at the challenge until you go closer. Anyway, I'm glad that you enjoyed the game so much. I wasn't sure, you know, like, you don't tend to play a lot of really long-form games, and this one is pretty huge.
No. And I went with this one because it was so cheap. It's only $15, and I was like,
it's
well,
crazy
even if I
cheap.
only play it for 10 hours of the 30 or whatever, that's worth $15.
That's still plenty, yeah.
But it just, man, it just sucked me in. Like, the world building in this game is... I mean, I've said a lot, and, I mean, you've known me long enough to notice how I feel, but I don't think that games are especially good at crafting narrative. Especially games that aren't adventure games or RPGs, and even those are like, meh. But they're really good. What video games are really good is world building. When they're good, you know. Like Deus Ex, Human Revolution, I thought did like some really great world building stuff, and this game is just fantastic at that. Like,
absolutely, yeah. Like all the stuff scattered around the environment, the little bits of lore you can find, the characters who are clearly just doing their own thing. Like, there are no mouthpieces who are just there to tell you how the world works, right? Almost everyone is just kind of like, no, I'm just living my life. And
you actually really don't get a good sense of how the world... Like, I'm at the end, and I still don't feel like I've gotten a really good sense about how this world operates completely.
Yeah. I read a couple lore dumps after I finished the game, and I understand a little bit, but it's like kind of intense, yeah.
Yeah.
Not obvious.
Like you're the ghost of a bug, I guess, from what I can tell.
Someone is complaining that you're hard to hear.
That I'm hard to hear? I can turn that up. That's fine. Actually, no, I can't. My mic is at the max. I can't.
Maybe just turn me down in Discord.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I was waiting for you to shut up, Mike.
I listened back to a little bit of the video, and it's true that I'm a lot louder than you are.
You are.
But I boosted my mic in OBS, so that wouldn't have anything to do with this.
I turned you down quite a bit, so I can't turn myself up anymore, but I will also turn down the game.
Yeah, I like this game so much that I bought a second copy of it for my Switch, just because I wanted to give them more money, and I just wanted to have it. Like,
it's got weird performance issues, though. It lags on some of the harder bosses and stuff.
Yeah, well, Lost King kind of sucks anyway. Actually, I like that fight, but man, it's hard.
Yeah, that fight lagged, and Grey Prince Zote actually lagged quite a bit.
That guy's hard.
Yeah, he's super hard, and even harder when... Like, if you're looking right now, again, just to give an update, I said something about this before you showed up, but I still have not... OBS is telling me I have not dropped a single frame since I've been streaming. So if this looks framey, it's not the stream.
It's a little
it's
choppy.
The game. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, this is not the best place for it to be a little choppy.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
So of all of the people, so now almost everyone.
Sorry,
loves this game, right?
Herbors asked if this came out as a physical release, and no, it's download only still. But sorry, what were you saying, Mike?
I was gonna say, so now we all love this game, right? I think Eric played it first, and then me, and then Anthony, and then I think somewhere in there, Kurt.
Alex.
Yeah, Alex fell in love with it. Kind of after our Game of the Year stuff, I want to say.
Yeah.
So like this is one of the first games we've been super unanimous on, probably since Deus Ex: Human Revolution, or I guess maybe Overwatch.
Saints Row the Third. Well, yeah, Saints Overwatch. We were.
No, I said unanimous.
What, Saints Row? You were the dissenter on Saints Row the Third.
I don't know if I'm a dissenter so much as I just don't care or.
Okay.
Still haven't played it. People were talking about that recently because of Burt Reynolds passing.
Yeah. The game's super good, Mike.
I guess. I mean, I think I love the idea that it's doing some really good subversive and comedic take on like a Grand Theft Auto game, but I just don't want to play Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto games don't give you like giant fists that let you punch cars and blow them up, right? Like
I suppose.
It's closer to Crackdown, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
Which also I'm excited for Crackdown 3 in spite of myself.
Yeah, really? Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, Crackdown 2.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Why was I trying to jump around and shit before? Why didn't I do that?
Inside your own head, man.
I like that all these dudes are bowing down before me and I'm just like murdering their dream selves.
There are actually a bunch of places in this path where you can find shortcuts or kind of cheats. I don't know if you've kind of found any of them, but like there are times when you can pogo off of spikes or obstacles to skip short sections or
yeah, that's not surprising. You can pogo off the saw blades though. I haven't actually tried that, I don't think.
Saw blades, I don't remember. It's been a little while. Probably? Worth a shot?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Okay, so I flipped a switch. Looks like I have more. Oh yeah, the lifeblood came back when I sat on the bench. Okay, it looks like I have.
And go up, I want to say.
Light more. Okay, so I hit one, and now I have to hit. No, I can't go up because I can't get in that. Oh wait. This is where I came from though, so I don't want to exit back out that way.
You did left, you did right?
No, I haven't done left. I don't think.
Oh, you haven't done left, okay. Yeah, there's I'm pretty sure there's
oh, here we go. Yep. Ah! Okay. Figured it out. This is where I need to be, apparently.
Yeah, so I've been playing a whole bunch of that there, The Messenger, and that game was pretty neat. That reminds me of this.
Next on my list. In fact, the only reason I haven't bought it yet is because I was like, why spend the money when I just want to finish Hollow Knight first, you know?
Oh, that's a good call. I mean, games go on sale a lot, and on the Switch, some games go on sale really fast too. So just wait a bit. But that game is neat, but it is not as good as this. It does have really great traversal. They give you a whole lot of options, and you can actually not options so much, just a bunch of abilities that you always have.
Yeah, I guess like when you hit a lamp, when you hit anything, you can double jump off of that, right? Cloud stepping, they call it.
And it's actually more complicated than that because you don't double jump right away. Like you just basically give yourself a double jump charge that you can then use kind of whenever in your jump, which is actually makes it a lot more complicated. But there's more to it than that, lad. I won't go down the whole list of abilities, but you get like 3 or 4 that you can combine to do some pretty intense maneuvering. It's actually like 1 degree too complicated for my brain most of the time, but every once in a while I get into the zone and it's like, oh man, like I've come to realize that I've come to realize that I really like games that have really good and also kind of advanced movement. Like I've always been a big fan of Bionic Commando, you know, and I spent 35 hours playing Celeste and learning all like the weird like kind of hidden moves and things that game has. And so this game does that really, really well. It's just that it doesn't do it does some of the other stuff well too, but I'm just not in love with the level design, basically.
In the Messenger?
In the Messenger, yeah.
So, the thing that I have heard, and that I was honestly kind of surprised by, is that the Messenger is apparently much shorter than this game, for example.
Well, every game's much shorter than this game.
Well, not every game.
No, but every metroidvania is much shorter than Hollow Knight.
Yeah, but I saw a review. I watched a review of the Messenger that said it's like 5 to 6 hours.
No, I've probably played 8 at this point, and I'm not done. I mean, it depends on whether you want to just see the credits or not, but even just going for the mainline ending, like, I haven't found everything that I need to just end the game. I'm probably 8 hours in at this point. I think it's like maybe a 12-hour game, probably.
Okay.
Anyway, it starts out really good.
12 hours, I think, is pretty much the... I was going to bring this up, actually. I'm glad you reminded me. I think that 12 hours is pretty much the perfect length for most video games. That's my opinion.
I mean, I'm actually okay with a lot of them being shorter than that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Pac-Man to be 12 hours long. Like, don't get me wrong.
No, but even like an Uncharted style game, like, you know, honestly, like 6 hours of that, and I'm kind of good.
I think 8 to 12 is good for Uncharted. I think 8 to 12 is like my window for most video games, I think.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say because lately I've been finding myself getting into games kind of to my surprise and playing like so much more of them than I expected. Like with Celeste, which you can be done, you know, you can play the main campaign in that game in like 8 hours or so, but then I sunk in like another 25 doing all the later levels. You know, Dead Cells is one that I picked up again now that it's out, and I'm up to probably 25 or 30 hours on that one at this point.
Yeah, that's another one that's on my, you know, upcoming to play. Messenger and Spider-Man are like the next two that are right in front of me.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you played and enjoyed Hollow Knight. I'm surprised you like it this much, but Dead Cells, I think, really... I think you're going to like that a lot.
I mean, Mike, you do know that I like Metroidvanias a lot.
I guess so. You don't bring them up as much. Like, you like the Castlevania games maybe more than the Metroid ones, from what I can tell.
I definitely like the Castlevania games more. But this game is more Castlevania than Metroid as well.
I guess.
I mean, all the combat is melee, all the...
Yeah. Yeah, it is like a smoother, faster take on an Igavania in terms of the control scheme. But there's also like only one really essential Metroid game, and it's an extremely unique game. Oh yeah, this place. Don't hurry this place. Anyway, I would recommend checking out the Messenger, but obviously you might not want to do that right after playing 30 hours of Hollow Knight because it's, you know, same kind of dealie. But it is kind of cool to see someone pick up the sort of old Ninja Gaiden mantle and do something with it.
I mean, that was the thing that I was really into, right? Because I love those games on the NES quite a bit, so...
Yeah, and it feels a little different, but they do a good job, you know, making a game that's like that, but, you know, it is definitely more forgiving in that you have unlimited lives and checkpoints as opposed to a continue system, but it also definitely has teeth, like when you die, sometimes it keeps track of how many times you died, and I've died like over 200 times so far.
Oh, it's one of those.
Well, it's not all one of those, but it has some platforming sections that are really tough. It kind of
no, I meant it's one of those that keeps track of how many times you died.
Well, it's definitely there. That information is available to you.
Should you feel the need to know that?
Yeah, or not. Every once in a while, it's like, hey, by the way. But I am trying to collect all the stuff in the game, so like I've definitely got my ass killed a bunch of times trying to get hard to reach items that you probably don't need to finish it. Oh, this part's pretty tough.
I felt like I was in a safe spot, and then I tapped the D-pad one time too many and got it. Oh, there we go.
Hello, Manuel Lopez.
Hello.
I mean, probably Manuel as opposed to Manuel.
I would say probably, yeah, hopefully.
I don't get a lot of Spanish practice in my day-to-day.
No, but French is close, right?
I mean, a little bit, but not in the pronunciation.
Mike, give me a ballpark. How close to being done with this nonsense am I?
If you're, well, I mean, so you're on the left side now, right?
Yeah, but I already did the right side.
Yeah, well, there's more after that.
Right. Like
You gotta do
50%
left, right,
more, or
I mean, I want
33% more?
It's been a while, but my memory is that each chunk is about the same length. So you're 40% of the way done.
Come on.
I don't remember exactly how long it took me to finish this, but it was, over an hour for sure.
Well, it's just not being able to see the saw blades. It makes it hard to figure out if you're standing in the safe spot or not.
You just have to learn what the distance from the pillar is, from the rail.
I thought I had, but apparently I was wrong.
But honestly, this part just sucks. Like, I didn't like this part in particular.
Manuel Lopez says first one is good. I'm not sure first one. I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, maybe the first presentation.
Did you ever play Streets of Rage 2 on the Game Gear? I mean,
I own Streets of Rage 2 on the Game Gear. I have not spent a lot of time with it, but I do have it.
Yeah.
I have plans for it.
Version. I mean, as the guy I know who knows the most about the Game Gear, is there ever a good reason to play a Game Gear version of a game that exists on any other system?
If it's the only way it came out in the United States or the particular territory you live in.
Let's just assume that I live on the internet and that it's not very
have
hard
ready
to find a Genesis game.
Well, no, I meant more as like
a master system.
Yeah. You know, if it's the version that Nintendo and Sega stubbornly put up on the Virtual Console instead of a better version.
What game did that happen to?
Sonic 2, Master of Darkness.
They put up Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Game Gear, but not Genesis?
No, the Genesis version, but not the Master System version.
Oh.
Which is weird.
Game.
Right, it's the same as the Game Gear version. Except the Game Gear version is like playing, on the back of a postage stamp. And so
it's like a GBA conversion of a Super Nintendo game.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's worse than that. It's really bad. It's cropped. Maybe the Sprint Master charm was not a good idea, because now I feel like when I tap the D-pad, I'm walking too far.
I mean, this part sucks, but if you can make it through here, well, there's more after this before you get to the next bench, but, I don't recall there being a lot of this nonsense. The thing is, if you take the charm off now, you're just going to have to learn again how to get your distances right.
Ah! Yeah, right. Well, also I'd have to go back to the bench to actually take it off, so I'm not doing that.
Fun fact, says Manuel Lopez, Sonic 2 for the Master System was a PAL-only release, but we only had the Game Gear version.
Yeah, and the Master System, I believe, as with Streets of Rage 1, the Game Gear version is not a downgraded version of the Master System. I'd have to play, I have them both. I'd have to revisit to confirm that, but I believe that that's the case. For some reason, they made totally separate versions of those games. Of Streets of Rage, I should say. But yeah, Sonic 2, Master System is PAL only. Sonic 1 was the last US Master System release. So. And but again, as I argued, I did an episode on Sonic 2 a long time ago. 4 summers ago, I think it was now. And I said then, and still maintain, oh, this is gonna suck. Yep. That's... Damn. you know, when they put Sonic 2 on the 3DS Virtual Console, like, they could have just said it was the Game Gear version and dumped the Master System ROM on there. Like, there's no reason not to do that, because the 3DS screen has enough resolution to fit the whole Master System game on it.
Did they ever do Master System emulation for the 3DS?
No. But I am willing to bet that M2 could probably figure it out.
I don't know. Somebody must have had some reason, right?
I think probably because it wasn't ever actually released in the US, Nintendo probably was not okay with doing that. Would be my guess.
Maybe they would have had to get it rated or something.
Yeah, that might be it. Because it was, yes, right. They might have had to pay for a rating on the Master System version when the Game Gear version was already rated from when it originally came out. That's probably it. Oh. I'm starting to wonder if I really want to see the good ending. I guess I want to fight the real final boss and see what that's like. Although I heard that's super hard too.
Oh, it's pretty hard. Definitely.
Compared to some of the other bosses. Because
The only one that I thought was significantly harder was the hard version of Grimm, who I'd never beat. Otherwise, I would say it's the hardest of the bosses I fought.
What do you get for fighting Grimm another time?
Satisfaction, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case. Because I got the Charm Notch from him, and then he's like, oh, get 3 more flames and come back and we'll fight again. And I'm like, I don't really think I need to do that.
Yeah, the people with the flames the last time around are just total sons of bitches, too. It's a hell of a fight. Like, it's almost worth seeing just to... I'm pretty sure everyone considers it the hardest fight in the game.
The true final boss or Grimm?
Nightmare Grimm. Nightmare Grimm, yeah. Don't get me wrong, the true final boss is pretty tough. Took me a bunch of tries.
Lost Kin is the one so far that I was just like, you know what? Whatever this thing gives me, its essence, I think, I was like, I don't need it. I'll find another way to get enough essence to awaken the Dream Nail. That's
I've heard that if you put on the badge that just emit a smelly aura, that makes that fight way easier because you can just ignore all the little flying dudes.
It helps, but it doesn't solve the problem.
Well, maybe you would have found the fight manageable if you had a better frame rate. It's still really hard. I'm pretty sure it took me like 45 minutes to beat him the first time I stumbled onto that fight. That wasn't particularly...
Well, the first time I stumbled onto that fight, I was not equipped at all to deal with it. Like, it was right after I beat him the non-Dream version.
Yeah.
And
but when I beat him, I wasn't equipped for that fight. I just had whatever I had. And I was just kind of too stubborn to go back and find the bench because it's kind of far from where you are.
It's not that far, Mike. It's like 2
I
rooms.
know. I was there. I was like, I'm not going to let this guy beat me. It was only afterward that I kind of realized how hard the fight was.
Yeah, that one was hard. Some of the other ones, though, like I did actually the Traitor Lord was really frustrating.
What was the Traitor Lord?
It's the evil mantis.
Oh, the bad mantis?
Yeah.
Did you have Fox helping you?
Yeah, I did. She doesn't do anything. She's useless.
I don't know.
All she does is drop the frame rate more.
Yeah, I feel like that one wasn't a big deal for me.
I ended up using a bunch of minion charms and just letting them kill him while I ran away.
Oh, okay, sure.
So I used the like...
bad ending?
Sorry?
You've gotten the bad ending of the game?
The bad ending, yeah.
Yeah. I found the Hollow Knight was difficult at first. Now I can do that guy in my sleep, but...
So I actually thought, because I had already... Oh my god. Because I'd already done a bunch of the, I guess, harder boss fights, I actually didn't find him difficult. And I think I beat him on my second try.
Did you have the Shadow Dash when you fought him?
Yes.
That makes a huge difference. Because just being able to... You can just ignore half of his attacks.
Don't you have to? To get the last ghost, you have to have the Shadow. Or the last,
No? Oh.
Whatever. The last Dreamer to unlock the room where he's in. Don't you have to have it?
Not even a bit.
Really? Oh, you can come from the other side if you have the thing that lets you swim in acid, right?
I forget the exact... Oh, yeah, the one that's in the green path.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can swim in acid. Because like I said, I have done the speedrun challenge where I did it in like 6 hours, but I definitely did not get... I definitely did not get the Shadow Dash on that one, but I did get the double jump and the SB's tier for swimming in the acid. You got the right idea. You gotta dash over the second blade and then land before you deal with the one on the other side.
Right.
Don't be too worried about like losing your hearts in this spot, because you just have to make it through that little vertical hallway to get back to where you were.
Okay. Well, I don't want to actually die and have to start from the beginning of this section now.
But I think you're only just up that one little hallway from where your last checkpoint was, aren't you?
Oh, maybe. That might be true, actually.
This part is much harder than the path to get you there.
Right. Oh. So hey, did you check out that Mega Man 11 demo?
I did not. My only real question is, does it play well on the Switch?
I don't know. I played it on PS4.
Okay. Because the thing is, I know I'm getting that game. My son is obsessed with Mega Man, and I'm kind of obsessed with Mega Man. So, like, at this point, I think I'm just in for it, no matter how it turns out. I've seen like the trailer for it. It looks all right. Like, I'm hoping that it feels good to play.
I thought it felt good.
Yeah.
I've seen some people say they don't think it feels like Mega Man, but I mean, as you and I have discussed, yeah, the last one I played was Mega Man 7, so that one feels the most off to me. I know you argue 8 feels more off. I didn't even move.
They're both different. 7 and 8 are both different than the classic games. It's really weird. What happened to you there?
I don't know.
Alright, there is still some lag in the stream on YouTube, but
yeah, there's an option for ultra low latency, but I didn't turn it on because I wasn't sure if it would cause like stuttering or frame drops or anything weird like that. So
I will say the stream looks relatively good.
I think you can go up to like full HD on YouTube streaming, but
I would think that your
left
upload
it at
speed
720.
would be the big factor there.
Yeah.
I actually upped my streams from 30 to 60 FPS for the Mega Man streams because I thought they didn't look
You
good
got
at 30.
to. They look weird at 30. I always stream in 60 now.
I'm gonna try to leave it at 60 for everything else. I think that my upload speeds are probably okay for 60 if I leave it at 720. I don't have as good an internet as you do though, so I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you still have a data cap from your weird Canadian internet? Or
Oh yeah, data caps are everywhere. You gotta pay a fortune if you don't want to have a data cap, I want to say. Usually,
how much streaming
like,
can you do and not go over your data cap?
At this point, I have... What do I have? I have like 400 gigs a month, so it's actually very hard for me to bust it at this point.
Okay, how is it that I'm safe when it goes by one time, but if it comes by again, then I'm not safe?
I don't know. Is it just like the idle cycle on your guy?
Maybe.
Maybe
He doesn't move very much.
You are cutting it close though.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. I want to say Canadian internet providers will give you unlimited if you go to like the really fast, expensive tiers.
God. Yeah, that makes sense. How fast is your internet?
I've got 60 megabit download, I think. I don't remember exactly. I think it's 60 down and probably only 10 up. I'm actually going to check that right now because I remember.
I feel like this stream has gotten significantly less interesting for like the last 20 minutes because it's just me in this same hallway.
Yeah, that's the White Palace. This part is less fun.
Oh.
Moving around a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe I moved up to 120. I might have moved up to 120. And then I'd have a 20 megabit upload. I'm not even sure anymore. Let's see what Speed Test has to say.
Sure. Let's do that.
Oh yeah, I got 60 down.
There we go. Good son of a... Mm.
How we doing there, Joe?
I walked just a little bit too far right before the part where I could just dash under the triple blades and got hit. This is like the jumping rope thing in Mario Odyssey. Okay, here we go.
I've been playing a bunch of Mario Odyssey lately again, also at the request of my son.
Yes!
Who wants to get some more moons. That game's alright. I kind of wish that I liked it more than I do.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, this part sucks too.
No. How do I cancel? I can't cancel the dash, can I?
Cancel your life? Or like
No, cancel the charge dash.
Oh, super dash.
I don't think you can. I have not found a way to cancel...
like the dream nail button or the...
Oh, it could be the dream nail button. That's good to get.
At least you've got infinite tries. Like, I had to go through that damn razor hallway every time I wanted to learn how to do this jump. Now you're definitely better off waiting for the
life, waiting for the hive blood to refill.
I do want to say, I'm not sure that you actually... Oh, okay, that worked pretty well. I'm not sure that the crystal dash is the way to go there, though.
Well, we're going to find out, Mike. Oh, whoop, wasn't the way to go there. Do I shadow dash far enough to get through? Because it doesn't look like I do, honestly.
I thought it was jump and then dash.
Oh, jump and then dash?
Like hang out a little bit below and then jump up, dash at the last second, and but I'm not sure if it'll get you far enough to grab the far wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the charge dash and then jumping on the other side, but if that doesn't work, then I guess I'll have to try it your way. Maybe I'll see. I just tried it your way and I got hit your way.
Yeah, so I've been doing the whole Odyssey thing and finding moons, and it's all right, but
I got to the point where the only moons I had left to get were ones that I would buy.
Okay.
I had to buy moons if I want. Oh, come on! I stopped myself before that. Yeah, but buying moons was my only path to moons when I finally put Super Mario Odyssey down. And the only reason to do that is because you get a thing, like you get a hat on the castle or something if you...
Oh. Alright, so I got to 250 moon, and I unlocked the dark side of the moon. I was like, oh, cool, this is going to be super cool. And then I got there and it's like, oh, it's a fucking boss rush with the stupid rabbits that everyone hates.
But Darker Side is like a ridiculous platforming challenge that I actually had a ton of fun with.
So that's the 500 moon unlock?
Yes. You're right, like, this does not seem to be working.
It keeps telling me, like, get to 500 moons.
I think it's 500, yeah.
I don't remember if you actually have a double jump left after a crystal dash like that. Probably do.
You can double jump out of a regular dash, so I feel like you should be able to double jump out of a crystal dash, but maybe not. But I can't dash again after the double jump, and so I just ate it on the saw blade.
Well, that's because you're dashing too early.
Yeah, well, clearly.
Do a big, slow arcing jump, and then don't dash until you're right next to the blade.
But yeah, man, I'm glad you mentioned the idea of using the hive blood to me. No, come on, I dashed.
At this point, you're definitely better off for it. I wonder if you should have just powered your way through without it for the first section. Because, you know, like, yes, you'd have to redo that little first hallway, but you wouldn't be waiting between your attempts, so you might be learning faster. I don't know.
Maybe.
But this part is really lame, and I think it's good. Your, thanks.
There we go. Yes.
And I gotta find another word to say instead of lame, but I can't think of a good one. There you go, nice. I'm like 5 seconds behind. That's the sound the saw blades make.
Ain't it though? There we go. Oh, I guess I have to pogo along the spikes, maybe? That...
No, man.
No.
Crystal dash.
Oh, crystal dash. Yeah, right. That's what the crystal dash is good for.
There are a couple places where they make you do precision moves that, and I always found it really hard to get the height right. You know, like you press the button to charge up on the wall, and getting that height exactly right can be tricky in some spots. And also stopping the dash at the right place can be hard.
That's true.
It's a little imprecise.
I'm gonna splatter these dudes just to make myself feel better.
Hey, you hit a switch.
Yeah, I did.
That's progress. Can't take that away from you.
That's right. Well, I guess the game could probably find a way to take it away from you if it wanted to.
Yeah, well, it won't.
It wanted to. So, I'm charge. I'm just gonna stop.
Alright, you're good. So now you can... This means you can do the third chunk, I want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting there.
And this is it, right? This is the last chunk?
I'm pretty sure it's the last chunk.
Don't lie to me, Mike.
I may be lying to you unintentionally.
Canadians, can't trust them. So, Mike, what
Some
was your
Russian
normal?
guy
What
says
was your
3333.
normal? What was your normal loadout for this?
I was a really big fan of the range extending charms. Once I had a lot of slots, I actually
Did you stack them or did you?
I did at times, but like not always. Quick slash, or eventually like I had the toward the end of the game I had the permanent one that does the damage upgrade, whatever that one's called.
Oops. Okay, that's
fragile strength. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had the permanent fragile strength thing.
Okay. So, did you use the Gathering Swarm?
I use it more now. Like if I'm trying to do a quick run, I'll usually leave it on for most of the games, but I don't have to stop and get Geo. Because there are still a couple places where the game more or less gates you based on like how much money you have. Like you need to get the Lumafly lantern if you want to go through Deep
Hey,
Nest at
another
all. And is that?
Another bench.
Nice.
Yeah, the Lumafly lantern. I felt the thing that I really like about this, Mike. You can't read Cyrillic, can you?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, it looks like 3333 or
That's what
backwards.
it looks like to me, but I don't.
Backwards epsilons. So what do you really like?
I like that oh god, what? I love how like horribly shitty the frame rate just got, so that it's really hard to do this. I like that the game, it feels like, or at least it felt like to me, that there wasn't necessarily, I mean, obviously there is, because people speedrun it, but it didn't feel like there was a critical path in the way that, like, it felt like whatever I was doing,
It's not
was the
designed to-
okay to thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I got the Lumafly lantern, and there were some parts where I was like, oh, I got this thing early, this is really hard, but I'm gonna get an item that, like, will make me OP later, maybe, for some other things. And then there were some parts where I was like, oh no, I got this late. I feel like I should have had this item earlier.
Yeah. Well,
Why could I not double jump? Oh, because the frame rate took an absolute dump, and I can't... It's not reading my inputs. This is really frustrating.
You might be able to go around that, go back to where you started from. You might be able to go around the saw blades that are on the right, kind of go over them and maybe do a different path if you want. But this is too painful. Yeah, the game opens up in a big way. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like once you have the dash and the mantis claw, there are a lot of places you can go.
Right.
And I actually got stuck there for a while. Like it took me forever
What
to
the
find it. Actually, the reason being that I missed the crystal dash. Like I explored the peak and I got to the room that it was in, but I kind of stepped out of it. So like it was on my map as showing up as a place that I had been, but I hadn't actually explored it fully. So forever I didn't know what I was missing. I actually had to look up where to find that because I couldn't figure out what I was missing.
Yeah, I got to the end, and once I beat the game, then I started looking up stuff like where are the last couple pieces of pale ore? Where are the last 2 charm notches that I missed? Where
Right. But I do appreciate how open he gets. I think for an average player, you're going to get to that sort of middle third of the game, and just you can take it in almost any order that you want. There's so much stuff to find, so much world to explore. If you're trying to do it in as fast as possible, then it more or less comes down to one of a handful of routes that
I was going to ask,
you know.
what is the actual critical path, as someone who has
Well,
now done something vaguely resembling a speedrun?
Well, the real critical, so you need to get the projectile, and then the air dash, and then the wall climb.
Right.
And I think crystal dash is required. So you get the projectile pretty close to where you start. Then you go and you fight Hornet to get the air dash. Then you go to the Manus village to get the claw.
Right.
And then you need to go to the crystal peaks to get the crystal dash, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
So all those more or less happen in every run. And then, I mean, good players don't need to get the double jump. They don't get Esme's tier.
That's the
They don't
acid
get
thing.
Esme's tier.
The acid
They don't
thing.
get Esme's tier or the double jump. Is that possible? I can't remember anymore.
I felt like
it's been
I was-
a while since I watched the videos.
I felt like I was pretty far along without the double jump.
I think they get Esme's tier, but not the double jump, something like that. But they also do some really harrowing moves. Slide down a wall until they're like 2 pixels over some acid, and then do like a crystal dash to go through a passageway that you're supposed to swim through.
Right.
Basically, once you have the moves that you need, you just need to go get the dreamers and go to the boss. Like, so a really good speedrunner can finish the game in like 40 minutes or something like that, which is just mind-boggling. So when I do it, like, I don't have any hope of finishing the game without getting at least the double jump and probably the tier as well. I still think that if I were to put my mind to it, I could probably do like a 4 or 5 hour run without much difficulty. And then if I really wanted to practice it, I could maybe get it down to like 2 hours or something like that. But that would require playing through probably 10 times before I had the pathing memorized that well. You've also got to be able to beat some of the bosses with very minimal equipment. Like on my fast run, I did upgrade my nail twice. I think I actually did the no tail ore upgrade, the 1 tail ore upgrade, and the 2 tail ore upgrade.
You was almost all the way upgraded.
Well, I was 1 step away, I guess, from having the best nail.
Right.
But I completely schooled the Hollow Knight, so like in the end, I didn't need that much firepower because I didn't get the last upgrade until right before the last fight. So I think basically get 1 tail ore somewhere and upgrade your nail twice, and that's more than you need to just do a speed run. I want to say that you can cling to that wall there and just not get hit by the saw blade as long as you don't jump.
There we go. Yeah, it
I'm
misses
also
you if you're
interested-
clinging to the wall, but
Yeah,
you can't move.
Right, but if you don't panic, then you can actually just kind of chill out for a second. I don't know much about the pathing for a 100% run because there's actually stuff in this game I still haven't done.
Yeah, same. And stuff I don't think I'm honestly going to do, like getting all the grubs and shit.
Yeah, I've actually. Did you fight the collector?
I did.
You see, I never actually found the entrance to his tower, so I didn't fight him because I didn't get the map that tells you where the grubs are.
I got that very recently though. I found the key on accident. Like I didn't know it was there. I didn't go looking for it. But then I had already found the love tower or whatever.
Right.
And so then when I found the key and it was like the love key, I was like, oh, I know what that's for. So
I do love a good tower.
yeah, so I did that. But it's pretty inessential. Like I don't think I'm gonna collect all the grubs anyways.
Certainly, I think it's worth it to get the final ending, in part because it puts you through this, which I thought, it's maddening, but it's also a fun challenge that's different than what you do the rest of the game. And I like the last boss fight as well. And it's nice to get that kind of good closure on the story, since the world is pretty cool. But I don't feel the need to get every single badge, every single boss in the game. There's so much. It's just so huge.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early tomorrow, so I'm gonna punch out in another minute or two. Do you have any stuff you want to add here?
No, I don't think so. I was actually planning on trying to be done by 11, but now I'm just like bound and determined to finish this stage, so...
You can do it, Joe. You're most of the way there. You're like 3/4 of the way there.
Ugh.
But it's long and it's never particularly easy.
Doesn't seem like it.
Now imagine how bad the path of pain is since you don't even have to do that one to get the good ending.
Yeah. No thanks.
Someday I should go back and give it a try, but...
There we go. Alright, now I'm up here. Oh, cool, I walked into some spikes. That was good.
I kind of thought maybe I would, you know, give it a shot on my next real playthrough, which would be on the Switch, but if it's going to be all choppy and difficult, then it's...
It really doesn't get that way until towards the end. Although, I mean, doing this... It is in this part, and it was... And so I'm sure it will be in the... what is it called? The Hall of Pain?
The Path of Pain.
Path of Pain. I was going to say, Mark Henry Hollow Knight crossover, the Hall of Pain.
Can't help you with that, I'm afraid.
He's a wrestler. It's a wrestling reference.
Kind of an Emperor of Rome or something like that.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, we got spikes.
We got spikes. We got blades. Oh, I like this part. I like this part being fun.
Nope. Oh. I know I can look up and down, but I can't look to the right. So I'm curious.
It's easier to go to the right, and it's faster if you don't. So I want to say that
if you go to the right, and it's faster if you don't. Okay.
If you get yourself onto the right side of that platform, there's a path over there. But yeah, like every time you jump slash something, it actually gives you back your double jump in this game too. So something you have in common with the messenger.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
So,
oh yeah, right.
So if you time it right, you can make your way kind of straight up here. But I don't think I actually did it that way myself. Anyway, this part's less terrible than the last one, so I'm gonna leave you to it. Godspeed.
All right. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you next week. If I don't talk to you before then.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Oh boy, folks. I think what I need to do is jump, dash, jump. And not get shish kebab. Whoops. That was not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay. I think I get what I'm doing here. So we're gonna jump, dash, slide, dash under, double jump, slide down the other side, and sort of bound over. That did not work out the way that I planned it to. But I can't imagine doing this without the hive blood. I'm very glad that Mike mentioned that. There we go. Okay. think I pretty clearly... version of this game has these weird performance issues, and I don't know why it keeps running so framey, but I'm losing inputs. That is not helpful when you're trying to do this kind of thing. Look at that. Look at how much that lags just walking back and forth. That's terrible. And again, 0 dropped frames in this stream, so... This is not my capture setup. Like... Come on! Seriously? Wow. That's how I'll do it. Really? Really? Please tell me that's the end. Okay, that's a locked door. That's a locked door. And that's a bunch more saw blades. And that's a bunch more lag. Cool. This is going to be easy. I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to do that when this thing is dropping frames and input, like left and right. I double jumped and it just didn't because it's eating inputs now. So inputs over here. Delicious, delicious inputs. Like, look at that. How... it's just not letting me do anything. I just can't do a simple double jump because as soon as I hit the A button the second time, B button I should say, yep. I'm gonna lose my patience, so I'm just gonna stop for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Looks like this actually worked out pretty well, so I don't know if we're gonna move away from Twitch permanently or how we're gonna do, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.